Hi Year 3, this is Mrs. Hepplewhite and I am here to take you through your reading skills lesson for this Thursday. So today is the 4th of March 2021 and our Vipers we're looking at today is the S, which is summarising. It could be sequence or summarise. To be fair, it's kind of a bit of both today, okay? So I need you to circle that S. So can you write today's date, the title, circle the S and underline it with a ruler, and when you've done all of that, can you press play and come back for the next bit? Okay, so hopefully you've written that nice and neatly into your book. I'm just going to make this screen a little bit bigger. There we go. So I'm not going to go through the massive detail because I know Mrs. Nicholson did this earlier in the week, but we need to always remember we have 6 parts of our Vipers, and the one we're looking at today is this S. So it could be summarise or sequence. They kind of go hand in hand, to be honest, but we are looking at the summarise today, about summarising the main ideas from more than one paragraph. We're actually going to be summarising the whole story today. Oh, sorry if you heard that. That was the postman putting post through my letterbox. So, our current text is Mystery Mob and the Wrong Robot. We finished reading it on Tuesday. So although we haven't got any more of the actual text to read, today we are going to be summarising the whole text. Then tomorrow we've got our last lesson on this text. So let's have a look. So summarising is an important skill in reading as it shows we've understood what we've read. We call this comprehension. So we focus on this so much at Carbeal. It's so important that you comprehend, that you understand what you have read. Okay, which is why sometimes with your reading colours that you're on, sometimes you say, well, this book's really easy, like I can read it really, really well. And you can read through the words, you can sound out the words well, but it's actually understanding what you have read and answering questions about what you've read. And to be honest, pretty much all of our reading skills lessons do actually focus on comprehension. It's a really, really important skill. So summarising is basically a way of showing that you understand what you've read. So how do you summarise something? So you could write the original text just in a shorter version. So if I asked you to summarise Mystery Mob and the Wrong Robot, I wouldn't expect you to go back and read it all again and read it out to me, because that's not summarising, that's just reading the whole text again. But if you shorten it down, that is summarising. You might use your own words to restate the important points. Okay, so instead of actually reading explicitly the text again, you might sort of repeat it in your own words. And you would include the main point of each part of the story. So this is going to be a lot easier in a minute when we do the activity. So to help us practice the skill of summary and summarising, we've summarised the main points of the story already for you and given them to you out of order. Your job is going to be to read them and put them back into the correct order. Okay, so as you get further up into Carbeal through years 4, 5 and 6, you will have to write those main points yourself and you will have to do those summaries yourself. But because we're still practicing this skill, okay, we've written the main points for you and you're going to put them back in order. So let me show you and I promise it will make a lot more sense. So here we have the main points of the story. Now you can sit and look at them on this screen. I wonder if I can make this a tiny bit smaller. That's better, so we can actually see it all on one screen. There we go. This is also available to download on Teams. So if you'd prefer to have this as a separate Word document when you do it, you can do that. When you do this activity, if you have a printer and you're able to use one, you can print out the Word document, cut out each statement and stick them in the right order into your book. If you don't have a printer, which I know lots of you don't, I don't have a printer at home, so I would have to write them out into my book. Okay, so either way, you're able to do this activity. So these are main parts of the story, but they are out of order. Your job is going to be to take these summarized points and put them back into the right order. Now, this could be quite challenging because it has been over a couple of weeks that we've read Mystery Mob. So what I've also done to help you is I've popped a copy of the whole text into Teams as a PDF document. So if you would like to download that, either read the story again, scan, read through it, or use it to check, you are absolutely welcome to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you in a moment to pause the video and read these out to yourself. So you're having a practice yourself at reading them. Then when you've had a go yourself, I want you to press play. I'm going to read them to you just to make sure that everybody's heard them and they understand them. And then I'm going to give you the chance to have a go at the activity. So pause the video and read them to yourself first and then press play. Okay, now you've had a go at reading those yourself. I am going to read them out to you just to make sure that they're all clear and you've all read, heard, and understand them. So the boys realise Anita, another inventor on the show, switched their robot with an evil one. That's a summary of one part of the story. While staying in the monster mansion, Buster the robot goes missing. The new robot burns the food and throws plates at Plenty O'Dosh, who is the rich judge. Other inventors seem jealous of Buster the robot. The next morning, Buster appears back in Gummy and Dwayne's room. Dwayne and Gummy decide to take Buster the robot, which does all the household chores, to the Monsters Mansion show. The mystery mob love the show Monsters Mansion, where people can win money for their inventions. Dwayne controls Buster from a remote control pad and it throws jelly trifle on Anita's head. Dwayne and Gummy win the competition. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 key main parts of the story summarized down into one sentence. So you can see how this is different. A summary is different to the actual story. The actual story is much more detailed, it's longer, it includes more vocabulary, whereas the summary is just the main point. So these are all in the wrong order. What I want you to do now is pause the video and I want you to have a go at putting these back in the right order by either printing, cutting out and sticking, or writing them out into your book. Like I said, there is a copy of the text on Teams if you would like to go back and have a look at it again. So good luck and then press play when you would like to see the answers. Okay, hopefully you've had a good go at that. Let's have a look at the answers together. So answer time, here we go. The first part was this one. The mystery mob loved the show Monsters Mansion, where people can win money for their inventions. That was the very first part of the story. So well done if you put that one first. The next one was Dwayne and Gummy decide to take Buster the robot, which does all the household chores, to the Monsters Mansion show. So that was number 2. Number 3, other inventors seem jealous of Buster the robot. 4, while staying in the Monster Mansion, Buster the robot goes missing. 5, the next morning, Buster appears back in Gummy and Dwayne's room. 6, the new robot burns the food and throws plates at Plenty O'Dosh, who is the rich judge. 7, the boys realize Anita, another inventor on the show, switched their robot with an evil one, which means the final summary, the final main point, is that Dwayne controls Buster from a remote control pad and it throws jelly trifle on Anita's head. Dwayne and Gummy win the competition. So those are the 8 summaries in the correct order. So let me pop them on the screen there. So feel free to go through now, give them a little tick if you've got them in the right order. And if you haven't, that's not a problem. Just have a look and see where you went wrong and see if you can correct them now and then come back for the very final part of this lesson. Okay, the last little bit, the plenary, is just a little thinking activity for you, which actually will lead very nicely into tomorrow's very fun reading skills lesson. What would you invent to make things easier to do at home? So I want you to just have a little think now about anything at home that you have to do, any chores that you do. Remember when I was younger, I was always the unloading the dishwasher person. That was my chore. Walk the dog, make my own bed. Lots of things that I used to have to do when I was younger. So what chores do you have at home, or things that you have to do that you think actually it would be great if I could have some help with that, or maybe something that would help mum or dad or whoever's at home. So have a little think about what you might invent to make things easier to do at home. Keep that in your brain ready for tomorrow's lesson. I hope you've enjoyed today's reading skills lesson year 3 and I will see you tomorrow for the final one of the week. Bye.